Hot damn. I think that is it. Can't even believe this. Really? Is that it? That took way longer than necessary, but yeah. I think it's over. God, this is crazy. I mean, who would waste their life doing some challenge like this? Yeah. Whoa, what the fuck? Just let me buy you stuff. I don't even need any of those. Don't need those. How many fresh spice do? Yeah, I'm fine. All worried. Oh, I only have 91.
Yep.
I think that's everything. Actually, I want to double check that I have all the... I should have a bunch of pure black tendency weapons. Jesus, goddamn. Ugh. Let's see, what am I looking for? Blind and stuff. Here's the blind, the hiltless. Guillotine axe from Meralda. The brand. Astrology. Although that's pure white, isn't it? I think. Yeah, Phosphorescent poles, the pure black, yeah. Insanity count tells me beat. Oh yeah, one of those was from the quest and one of those was from Skavir. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Awesome.
Hark, I hear a voice of yore. The old one is calling for
Damn right he is. He knows how awesome I
Let us
am.
proceed below to its lair.
And the funny thing is, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you should lust for more souls." Like, I never did lust, bitches. I was not a lustful person. Did it legit. It actually does kind of change the perception of the story a little bit. It almost makes you like more of like the chosen one type of thingy, because you didn't, you know, fall prey to the soul arts and all that shit like Alan did. It actually kind of makes sense in a way, because, you know, the main antagonist, not counting the old one, it's pretty much Alan, because he caused all this stuff to happen, and his demon representation is the final boss essentially, and the final storyline boss too. So the idea was that the reason Alan became a villain is because he became a lust for souls. So it kind of makes sense in a way that the person to defeat him and ultimately stop all this would be the one and only person that didn't fall prey to that lust. It actually does make sense. So it's kind of a neat... You know, that's why this game's so good. It has a lot of those cool role-playing aspects that role-playing games are supposed to have, but very few actually do nowadays. But that's a whole different topic that I'm not going to get into at the moment.
Surely you have seen for yourself the suffering that fills this world. The faith poison is poisoned. God is merciful. And so created the Old One. The Old One will feed upon our souls and put an end to our tragic realms of existence.
Whatever you say, smudge man. Oh, his defense is so high, I can barely hurt him. Oh, that was close. I think he's soul level 1 too. Okay, I wasn't even over that way. The final challenge, I hope I can overcome. Uh, uh, uh. Gonna kill you. Like every other freaking thing I did. I literally killed everything in this playthrough except good people. Literally, all those BPs, all those extra... I just killed the crap out of everything. And you will be the last. Freaking king out, piece of shit. You know, Gwen got a lot more respect in Dark Souls. Yeah, he was sacrificing himself to be a burning piece of wood. But at least he kept his, you know, his body, essentially, and could actually fight. This is just sad.
No one wishes to go on.
I do, mother trucker. You know, I'm not taking this weapon either, because I have like 6 of them. So F that shit. F that noise.
Thine work is done.
Yeah, about frickin' time.
Slayer of demons, go back above. The Nexus shall imprison thee no longer.
Damn right it won't.
I shall lull the old one back to slumber.
And yeah, I'm gonna do the good ending for this, just for the sake of, you know, the story here, because it makes way more
My
sense.
thanks. At last, my duty is fulfilled.
Because this character obviously would be a good guy. I mean, he doesn't embrace the soul arts. That's kind of a big tell. I mean, why would any villain do that? Thered be no logical reason to that if you were a bad guy. Of course, you'd just take the more power. Hell, even the supposed good guys in this game all use soul arts. Although it's actually hard to tell if there are any actual, like, quote-unquote good guys in this game, because even the people that help you, most of them are corrupt. Like, to me, it seems like Sage Frake is definitely corrupt throughout this game. Like, it's not very obvious until the end of the game, but I think he definitely is, and, if you did do what he told, you did take his advice and do what he told you to do, he would definitely, like, try to abuse the soul powers for his own power. He was definitely becoming lustful for the power, what it could do. He was going to basically become like another Alan. Because you can't trust, you know, the power of the souls. That's kind of the whole sort of point of the game. And if you lost its power, you'll be corrupted by it and you'll lose your sanity. That's what happened to Alan. That's what happens to everybody. Like, you can use the power of Solaris, but you can't actively seek it and let it consume you. It's basically the idea of power corrupts, and it's done really well in this game. It's done without beating you over the head with it. It's done subtly in the fact that you use that power to accomplish your mission and to power up, but at the same time you have to realize it's not the point of the game. The point of the game is to not get as many souls as possible. And that can be actually hard to see at times, but it isn't. And that's kind of the point of the whole game. It's really well done. Hideki Miyazaki. He's a good dude. You hear good things about him. So I'm probably going to skip this. I've seen it many times. I just want to get to, yes, save this stuff. So yeah, that was pretty much the best cycle you could really do. I didn't do any exploiting, cheating of any kind. Beat everything legit. I didn't really do anything that would be considered, you know, unfair play. I can't think of anything. Yeah, I pretty much did everything legit. The only thing really is, yes, I abused magic the hell out of it, but you have to at Soul Level 1. That's pretty much the name of the game. Like, you're not gonna... I would be very surprised to see someone beat Soul Level 1 stuff without abusing magic at certain times. Like, that's kind of... There's times where you pretty much have to. And if you didn't, basically you'd pretty much be forced to use hyper mode with melee, which isn't too much different. A little riskier, but it'd pretty much be the same general idea. So it still wouldn't change much. You're going to end up using either hyper mode or magic or a combination of the two. So yeah, that's it. I hope people enjoyed watching this, watching me be insane and trying to push this game pretty far, I feel, as far as like challenges go. Definitely the hardest part about this challenge is definitely levels where, you know, the checkpoints aren't easy to get to, like 5-1. Lots of enemies that can potentially kill you instantly regardless of second chance with multi-hit moves like in 5-1, or just when enemies gang up on you and trap you and you have to either know the best route to run through them without getting stuck or separating them, stuff like that. And for bosses, a lot of, I'd say at least like 80% of it comes down to strategy, which is a thing I feel a lot of people misunderstand about the Souls series when they think, oh, games are too hard. It's like you're just thinking about it wrong. You're thinking of the Souls games like typical action games like maybe God of War, Devil May Cry, where it's usually less about strategy and more about like damage optimization and knowing just like, you know, the best, you know, like basically more about knowing your character as opposed to the enemies, which is fine. I'm not saying those games are bad, like Bayonetta, where it's more about your power. In this game, it's more about knowing the enemy's powers and weaknesses and exploiting them the best you can. Like knowing that, say, you know, would be a good example. Flame Lurker's weak to magic. It's a simple one, and you know, running away and, you know, out of his vision and spamming spells. Then on the other hand, a boss like Leechmonger, how to beat his regeneration and in knowing what parts of the stage where he can't hit you, you know, stuff like that. In knowing Alan's tells and when he'll attack and how to dodge. It isn't really about, you know, like, it's not about Twitch, you know, combos or quick reaction times in this game aren't a big deal at all. The vast majority of the stuff that hits you, generally you don't get hit because you didn't see it coming. You saw it coming, but you did something stupid basically just before it happened. Like, you got greedy, you attacked too much, you ran out of stamina, or you casted a spell or tried to eat grass at the wrong time, and and if you're an experienced player, the second you do it, you usually know, oh my god, why'd I do that? You know? Like, if a man-eater's running towards you, you know any second now he could do a leap attack. So you don't eat grass, don't do a spell, because if the second you do that, he doesn't charge, you're going to potentially die. It's stuff like that. So if, you know, if someone's watching this hasn't actually played Soul Series, which I doubt, because they would have no idea what I was doing for most of this, since this is kind of like, you know, a crazy challenge game, but definitely give the games a try. They're not nearly as hard as they appear. It's mostly just about learning from your mistakes, learning how the game works, and applying what you learn in your own style, because it might not have shown very well in this type of playthrough, but in a regular playthrough, you're given a lot of room to develop your own character, your own style of fighting, and your own strategies, and that's really what the game's really good at. You get to develop your own type of strategies, and there's tons of them. There's tons of them. You can be brute force and just go in swinging. You can be a ranged character. You can be a stealthy character where you poison enemies from afar and watch them die. And if you know, I actually, you know, find all those styles fun in this game because they're varied and they're organic. They're not forced in there. They just happen, and it's really well done. So that's enough of my rambling. I guess this is pretty much the end of this challenge. It's completed. I pretty much accomplished everything I wanted to, except I didn't save war in your area, but whatever, it don't really matter. Other than that, everything went perfect. And to be honest, I thought that Flame Lurker and Maneater especially would have given me a lot more trouble. Like, yeah, they gave me trouble, but not... Actually, Flame Lurker not so much, but Maneater I thought would have been a lot harder because, you know, there's two... You know, you pretty much can't kill the first one before the second one shows up. It's not really possible. And then you have problems where there's two of them and you don't know which one you've hurt, and you know they can come at you from multiple sides. That can get really hairy, but that didn't take too many tries. Alan, I got a little frustrated, I'll admit, but eventually, you know, he started to, you know, give me what I wanted. His AI can be a little wonky at times, but he eventually gave me what I wanted. I beat him. So, as I promised, I'm done with this. Alright. Hope anyone who's watching this enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it as much as it was crazy, but it was definitely fun. So, farewell.